We have to talk about Dr. Sullivan because I think she might be Bloody Rose. Remember when Dr. Sullivan was in the hospital and she claimed that someone pushed her? I don't buy that for 1 second. Let's be real, Bloody Rose Waters would have killed Dr. Sullivan right then and there, and she would have stolen her files. Bloody Rose doesn't give warnings, so please. Also, how would the Reverend know details about Mouse and the other girls to even form that Redemption House play? Dr. Sullivan would know those details. Tabby said in episode 5, what if Dr. Sullivan is using everything we told her against us as Bloody Rose? Mouse even said in this episode, episode 6, that it's like they designed the Redemption House for us. But Dr. Sullivan doesn't have a lot of details on Farron. Once the girls found out that Dr. Sullivan was secretly spying on them, Farron said that she never trusted her since day one and she always thought that she was suspicious. Farron said that she was very careful about what she told Dr. Sullivan during their therapy sessions. And if you notice, in Redemption House, Farron doesn't have a story that's based off of her. Tabby's mother said that an LLC rented Imogen's home. Dr. Sullivan does well enough, so I'm sure she could have created that LLC and sponsored the church's Redemption House play. A thought that keeps coming to my mind, especially in episode 6, is that Bloody Rose really wants Imogen to suffer the most out of all of these girls. Like, why else have the play in Imogen's home? Like, out of all the places? Bloody Rose definitely knows Imogen's triggers. And Bloody Rose was still banking on Imogen being triggered by that Hell House and going back the next night, because why else would she leave that final girl note on her mother's bed? Dr. Sullivan definitely knows Imogen the best, and she definitely knows what her triggers are. If Dr. Sullivan is Bloody Rose, then she could have been prescribing Imogen placebos this whole time, or she could have been prescribing her medication that would exacerbate her symptoms and therefore lead Imogen to having a psychotic break. I even went back to episode 5, and in Dr. Sullivan notes, it shows that she wrote, Imogen is on the verge of having a psychotic break. Does Dr. Sullivan want more content that badly that she would try to trigger these girls with the Redemption House play? Another thing to keep in mind, when Imogen went to go visit Dr. Sullivan in the hospital, she asked Dr. Sullivan, is there anybody that I can call for you? Dr. Sullivan said no, but in the OG series, she has a son. Is this an error on the writer's part, or is this Dr. Sullivan protecting/hiding her son because her son is her accomplice? Is her son the one that attacked Farron? Because remember, Dr. Sullivan was lying in the hospital bed and Imogen asked the girls, like, how could she have possibly done it? Her being in the hospital was like the perfect cover, because how could she have physically done it? Because she didn't physically do it. Her son did it. Could Coach Rhodes be her son, Farron's boss? Because we have not seen him ever since, like, he asked Farron for her number. Or could Wes be her son? Because Wes is missing. I initially thought Wes was being set up, but he was on Spooky Spaghetti, and it looked like he was writing fan fiction or he was reading some Bloody Rose Waters fan fiction. And when they went into Wes's apartment, they saw a bunch of masks. Could Wes have created a Davy mask, and that's why Imogen thought that she saw her mother when she pulled that bloody gauze off? Is Wes creating a movie while his mother, Dr. Sullivan, works on the book? Both of them profiting off of the girls' traumas? Please comment down below, and please tell me your theories, your thoughts, because we only have 2 more episodes left. But after watching episode 6, I am so sus of Dr. Sullivan and definitely Wes.